On Saturday, I hosted an adults-only Halloween wine night. Most of my friends have children, and they look forward to having a night away. We put on a scary movie, paint or carve pumpkins, drink wine, and eat snacks. My new boyfriend of 2 months said he was bringing his sister to join, which I was excited about because I've only ever met her in passing twice, but she's around my age and seems really nice. She has 2 children, so I specifically reminded my boyfriend it was adults only. Of course, she shows up with her daughter, who is 10. I love kids, but this night specifically is meant for and planned for adults. I don't have children, so my house isn't even kid-friendly. Anyways, his niece saw my trick-or-treat setup and got excited to get some candy. I told her she could pick one, but told her it was for trick-or-treaters. Her mom was standing right there, and then we went back to enjoy time with the adults. I even told my boyfriend I was annoyed she brought her daughter, but I didn't want her kid to know it's not the kid's fault. One of my friends even made a comment that she paid for a sitter that night to have adult time. My boyfriend's sister and her daughter finally left around midnight, and I continued hanging out with my friends. While I was cleaning up, I realized all of the Halloween candy was gone. Not one piece left. For reference, it was 2 huge bowls from the Costco bags, so over $100 of Halloween candy. I asked my friends if they noticed anything, and they said the little girl kept walking up to it, but they thought she was just trying to get the scarecrow to scare her. I asked my boyfriend, and he literally said, "If you didn't want her to have it, you shouldn't have put it out." It wasn't out. It was sitting close to the back door, so on Halloween I can just move it outside before I get home from work. Once I get home, I then bring it in and pass out the candy myself. I asked him if he'd go to Costco and get more candy, since his niece took over $100 worth of candy without her mom or him watching her or telling her not to do that. He said no, and again that it was my fault I put it out so his niece didn't know. We're 2 months into our relationship and never had any actual issues. Very happy, but this just seems selfish and rude. My friends just sided with me, so I'm asking for unbiased opinions. Update. I broke up with my boyfriend after he came over Sunday night. I wanted to talk without whine courage. He still refused to admit it was rude for his sister to bring her kid and wouldn't cave on anything. I bought new candy, lesson learned, or so I thought. Today, trick-or-treating started at 3:30, but I got home around 4:30. A few minutes after I got home, a man knocked on my door. Thinking it was trick-or-treaters, I answered. He handed me a huge bag of candy, my dog's collar, and a pumpkin. It was my ex-boyfriend's sister's husband. He apologized it was after trick-or-treating started, but he said he wanted to return my stuff. I thanked him, and he left. I wish I asked him more questions, but I was honestly in shock. Why did he have my dog's collar? I dodged a bullet, guys. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. Aunt. If you didn't want her to have it, you shouldn't have put it out. My reply would be, if I didn't want her to have it, I wouldn't invite the child. Oh wait, that's right, I didn't invite her. And yes, in a relationship that is so new, I'd be looking to show him the door too. Comment 2. I personally would end it because he seems like a weenie and his sister seems like a mediocre parent. You're in for a lifetime of nonsense like this if you stick with him. Be proactive, make your life less of a hassle before it becomes a hassle. Not the idiot. Comment 3. Aunt. We're 2 months into our relationship and never had any actual issues. Because you're 2 months in. And it sounds like you just found an actual issue. A pretty big one. Did he even let his sister know it was child-free? Not the idiot. Now, for the update. After the breakup, things were quiet for a few days. Then out of nowhere, I get a text from my now ex-boyfriend's sister, the one whose daughter took all the candy. She's apologizing profusely, saying her daughter confessed to taking the candy after feeling left out of the grown-up party. The sister offered to pay for the candy and invited me to coffee to apologize in person. Against my better judgment, I agreed to meet her. Over coffee, she not only handed me an envelope with cash, more than what the candy was worth, but also confessed that her marriage was on the rocks and she was hoping family events could help patch things up. I felt a twinge of pity until she mentioned that her husband didn't know she was meeting me and that she was considering leaving him. Fast forward to 3 days later, I come home to a scene from a soap opera. My ex is on my doorstep with flowers, pleading for forgiveness, when his brother-in-law, the sister's husband, pulls up. The guy apparently followed my ex because he suspected his wife was meeting him on the sly. A shouting match ensues, and amidst the chaos, my ex's sister shows up. She's there to tell her husband that she's leaving him, for my ex. It turns out, my ex and his sister had been having an affair. The stolen candy was just the tip of the iceberg. Their relationship had been going on for months, and the niece taking the candy was a distraction so they could sneak away during the party. The husband is devastated. My ex is begging me not to believe it, and the sister is crying, saying she never meant to hurt anyone. Neighbors are watching. I'm standing there in disbelief, and then the police show up because someone called in a noise complaint. It took them about an hour to calm everyone down. The sister and my ex left together, and the husband sat on my couch for hours just talking about his now crumbling marriage. I ended up making him a cup of coffee and listening to him vent until he was calm enough to go home. I haven't spoken to any of them since that day. The whole ordeal has been a reality check about who I had been surrounding myself with. I used some of the money the sister gave me to restock the candy and threw a small, redo Halloween party for my friends. And guess what? No drama, just a good time with good people. I still can't believe all of this stemmed from a Halloween party gone wrong. It's like my life turned into a telenovela for 2 weeks. I'm just glad I got off that ride. Now for the comments. Comment 1, not the idiot. Honestly, it sounds like you got caught up in some soap opera level drama that you didn't sign up for. You were just trying to move on with your life post-breakup. The fact that you even had the patience to deal with your ex's family drama and still managed to throw a second Halloween bash for your friends? You're practically a saint in my book. Comment 2, you're the idiot. Look, I get that it was a crazy situation, but using the money from the sister after all the chaos feels a bit off. I mean, sure, she gave it to you, but it sounds like she was in a really bad place. Maybe returning it would have been the higher road? Just because you're caught in a mess doesn't mean you can't show a little compassion. Comment 3, not the idiot. You gave the sister a shoulder to cry on when she confessed her problems, which was already more than you needed to do. Then her drama landed on your doorstep, literally. You handled it by calling the cops to de-escalate. Smart move. Plus, you used the money to bring some joy to others by throwing a second party. If anyone's TA, it's your ex and his sister for their affair and dragging you into their mess. Now for the next story. My spouse and I are both jewelers. You'd think this would make gift-giving easy. Wrong. For the past 5 or 6 months, I've been asking my spouse for a very specific necklace for my birthday and the holidays. I showed him photos. I gave him the designer's contact info. Every time he'd ask, "What do you want for your birthday?" I'd say, "That one necklace." Well, the day is almost here. Husband has 0 plans made for anything, and as for the necklace, he informed me he doesn't feel it makes an appropriate 50th birthday gift. What? We are literally jewelers. We make a living selling jewelry to be given as gifts. This is literally what we have done for decades. So it's appropriate for anyone but just not me? That totally bizarre and bewildering statement aside, I got the necklace for myself after the spouse confirmed he didn't buy it and didn't plan to. Now he's miffed I got it at all. He sneered when I told him I got it via trade. Remember, we're both jewelers. And he more or less scoffed. No congrats. No happy you finally got it. Just a sneer and an eye roll. And a left-handed comment like, "I don't even know why you like that necklace so much. I don't get it." It's the designer's #1 seller, by the way. So, am I the a-hole for getting myself the gift I really wanted? He wasn't going to do it. He went so far as to say it was inappropriate as a gift. It's not. It's just a gold link chain, and I really truly did want it. Am I the a-hole? Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1, not the idiot. When my son was 5 months old, the only thing I asked for my birthday was a lie-in. I didn't get it. Husband refused to get up with the baby. He said it was a stupid birthday present. But it was what I wanted, and that should have been the only thing that mattered. I've never forgiven or forgotten that, and it was 9 years ago. Comment 2, not the idiot. Please get yourself another gift, a spouse who actually likes you. Yours sounds like a complete jerk. Comment 3, not the idiot? He sounds like an absolute peach. For his birthday, could you gold plate some dog shoot? Now, for the update, my post blew up more than I expected, and I got a lot of support from you all, which really helped me feel validated in my decision. But let me tell you, things took a turn I did not see coming. First off, the trade went through, and the necklace was even more stunning in person. The moment I put it on, I felt an indescribable sense of joy. It was everything I wanted. That should have been the end of it, right? A happy ending? Well, not exactly. My spouse's reaction went from cold to sub-zero. When I wore the necklace to my birthday dinner, a small affair with close friends and family, he barely spoke to me. It was awkward, and people definitely noticed. My best friend pulled me aside and asked if everything was okay. And that's when I realized this wasn't just about a necklace. It was about something deeper in our relationship. A few days later, my spouse sat me down and apologized. Turns out, he had been planning a surprise for my 50th birthday all along, a renewal of our vows in a romantic getaway weekend. He wanted to gift me with a family heirloom ring that was being resized and restored, which he thought would hold more sentimental value than any store-bought necklace. He felt that my going ahead and getting the necklace for myself ruined the surprise he had been meticulously planning for months. I was floored. I had no idea he had something like that in the works. The necklace paled in comparison to such a thoughtful gesture. We had a long, intense conversation about communication and expectations. It was emotional, but it cleared the air. I realized that in my focus on this one piece of jewelry, I may have overlooked his feelings and the effort he was putting into making my 50th special in his own way. In a turn of events, I decided to pay forward the kindness I received from the community here. Using my skills as a jeweler, I crafted a unique pendant and auctioned it online, donating all proceeds to a charity that supports relationships and communication in marriage. The auction gained traction in my local community and ended up raising a significant amount for the cause. As for the necklace, I still have it, but it has taken on a new meaning. It's now a symbol of lessons learned and the importance of open dialogue with those we love. Our vow renewal is scheduled for next month, and we're both looking forward to starting this new chapter in our relationship. So, that's my update. It's been an emotional roller coaster, but I'm coming out of it with a stronger marriage and a clearer understanding of what truly matters. Thanks again for all the advice and support. It really made a difference when I needed it most. Now, for the comments. Comment 1. You're the idiot for not considering your spouse's feelings and plans. It's great that you got support online, but your spouse should be your priority. The necklace isn't just jewelry, it's a symbol of the lack of communication in your relationship. Good on you for auctioning the pendant, but you need to work on being more considerate and inclusive of your partner's efforts and surprises. Comment 2. Not the idiot. It's clear you had no idea about the surprise and were just excited about the necklace. The fact that you're willing to auction your pendant for charity shows you care deeply about your relationship. Your spouse should have communicated their plans better. This experience seems to have been a wake-up call for both of you, and it's great that it's leading to renewed vows. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Trading for the necklace isn't the problem here. It's the lack of communication. which you both realized and are addressing. It's commendable that you're taking steps to improve your marriage by donating to charity and renewing your vows. You're turning a misunderstanding into a positive change for your relationship. Now, for the next story. I, 32-year-old male, have been married to my wife, 30-year-old female, for over 2 years now and have been together for 6 years. I come from a substantially wealthy family. I have a few assets, both inherited and built upon, in my name. My wife, on the other hand, comes from a lower-income household. When we started dating, the economic difference was very evident. While I trust her in general, my family is riddled with stories of gold diggers in both genders. So I told her if we were to get married, I would be comfortable only if she signed a prenup. It's not that I won't share my privilege with her at all. I would provide the best life for us as long as we are together. She agreed readily, claiming she loved me for me and not for my wealth. Hence, we have a prenup. To clarify, she was working all that time. But with our income disparity, I was covering over 70% of expenses. Barely a year into the marriage, she got pregnant. We were happy about it. 5 months in, she wanted to quit her job. I supported her decision since I was making enough money to support us. But 3 months into having our newborn, she demands I revoke the prenup. Her argument is she is staying home to raise our kid and putting her career on the line, so there should not be any prenup. I reminded her I was taking care of us financially while she stayed home with our baby. I look after the baby when I am home as well. She said that's my duty as a father. I said by that logic, staying home with our baby is her duty as a mother and not something to be compensated for. Not to mention, it was her choice to stay home. She got mad at me saying I don't care about her at all. It's untrue. But her logic is not making sense here. She is not letting this go and keeps saying I am ruining her life by holding my purse strings so tight, that she deserves to be on the title of our home at least. When I reminded her it's a premarital property, and if she wants her name on a title deed, we can buy a new property together when she gets back to work. Further info. I am not only taking care of my family financially, I am also putting money into her retirement fund. I just put my income, other than properties, into our joint account, and we both spend from it. Am I the idiot for not revoking the prenup? Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. How the hell was this precise scenario not covered in the prenup? Was your lawyer Lionel Hutz, or was hers? Did she have independent legal advice? Everyone sucks here, because this shoot should have been thrashed out years ago between you. But also, no idiots here because both of you have a reasonable take on this. God knows how you'll unpick it now. But unpick it you both must. This needs renegotiating with couples counseling, financial counseling, and a lawyer each. Comment 2. If this situation was not covered in the prenup, you need better lawyers. Also, a prenup cannot waive away or nullify child support, and in many states a judge can override it during the divorce if the terms are lopsided or hurtful to one party. As a compromise, you should do a postnuptial amendment to the prenup to reassure her that your kids and her will still be secure if something happens. Comment 3. Do you have something in your prenup about alimony? 'Cause if not, you are going to get FC-KED. The courts in most states will favor a stay-at-home mom who lost out on career earnings over the rich dude. You guys should do a postnup at minimum to cover alimony, and she should speak to a family lawyer. Now, for the update. After my last post, things escalated pretty quickly. We decided to bring in a couples therapist to help navigate the prenup situation. During our first session, the therapist asked us to each discuss our core concerns. My wife expressed feelings of insecurity about her financial independence and contributions to the family. I reiterated my standpoint and the reasons for the prenup, emphasizing my commitment to her and our child. Things took a dramatic turn when, a few days later, my wife surprised me with her family at our home for an intervention. They accused me of controlling behavior and not treating her as an equal partner. It got heated, and I had to leave the house to cool down. Despite the tension, I agreed to sit down with her family and explain the financial plans I had laid out for our future, including the property purchase idea. The following week was the jaw-dropper. My wife revealed that she was expecting again, twins this time. The news floored me. We were both overwhelmed with emotion, and it was a moment of pure joy that cut through the tension. This revelation seemed to shift her perspective on the prenup. She admitted that her recent reactions were fueled by postpartum anxiety and the fear of being financially vulnerable with an expanding family. Then, in a twist I didn't see coming, my own brother reached out to me. He confided that he had been through a similar situation with his now ex-wife, which had ended in a messy divorce where his lack of a prenup cost him dearly. He urged me to hold my ground, sharing a perspective that shook me to the core about the importance of protecting family assets. However, in a true testament to compromise, we've found a middle ground. We've agreed to adjust the prenup to include certain provisions for the future and her contributions to our family's well-being without fully revoking it. I also took a step further and set up a new investment account under both our names, specifically designed for our children's future, which seemed to give her peace of mind. Additionally, we went house hunting and are in the closing process for a property we both love, one that will be under both our names. We're continuing therapy, which has been immensely beneficial in helping us communicate and understand each other's fears and expectations. It's been a roller coaster, but it feels like we're on the right track again. The next step is preparing for the arrival of our twins and strengthening our relationship with a renewed sense of trust and partnership. Now, for the comments. Comment 1, not the idiot, buddy. Looks like you've been through the ringer. It's great that you and your wife are finding ways to communicate and work through issues together. Bringing in a couples therapist was a smart move. It takes a lot of maturity to sit down and listen to each other's concerns, especially with the added pressure of family. And kudos on finding a middle ground with the prenup that respects both your wife's contributions and the future of your kids. Good luck with the twins. Comment 2. You're the idiot for even pushing a prenup in the first place. Your wife is carrying twins, for crying out loud. She's already feeling vulnerable and now has to deal with the added stress of your family drama and financial control. Can't you see you're only adding to her insecurities? You should be supporting her, not making her worry about money when she should be focusing on a healthy pregnancy. Comment 3. Not the idiot. Your brother is right. You've got to protect your future, and a prenup is just common sense. Sorry to hear your wife's family came at you like that, but it sounds like you handled it like a champ, explaining your plans and all. Super cool that you compromised on the prenup and are setting up that investment account for your kiddos. And therapy? A+ move. You're laying down some solid groundwork for your growing family. If you liked this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.